Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the next in my series of Seekins rifles that I've reviewed. This is the Havak PH2, which is kind of the entry-level rifle within the whole range. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some of the details that are hidden within this, because I actually like this one the most, because I think it's the most representative for, you know, any kind of shooter and what you might aspire toward, and why I think this is actually a very good rifle. So let's start with the barrel. Now this is finished with a beautiful spiral flute. It's a 24-inch 610mm barrel, and in this 6.5 Creedmoor example it's a 1 in 8-inch twist rate. Now if I take that off, you can see the barrel thread there. That's a 5/8 by 24 for a mod or a break, and the barrel is fully floated. The forend is stiff. This spiral fluting looks beautiful. It saves a bit of weight. It's probably more of an aesthetic thing than an actually functional benefit, but I do think it looks nice, and it goes really well with the overall look of the rifle. We work back to the receiver here. It's a generally Remington 700 sort of build, and we've got a Picatinny rail on top which is screwed in position. That's a 20 MOA elevation on it, so scope mounting is really simple. I'll just pop the bolt out. Now that's actually a 4-lug bolt, but it's still 90-degree lift. This is actually a short action 165 Creedmoor, but the bolt heads are still interchangeable, and you can do things for the Magnum calibers depending on which action length rifle you go for. The bolt release catch is on the left side here, and that just pops in and out, and it is super smooth, and it's got sort of similar fluting to match the barrel, which I think is a nice touch. The bolt handle's not stupidly long. You get good leverage on it. You can flick it open, slide it back, and it's a very smooth operating bolt handle. The trigger is a Trigger Tech trigger, and it's adjustable from 40 to 80 ounces, which is about 1100 to 1300 grams. It's 2-position safety. It doesn't lock the actual bolt handle in either position, but this is a fully adjustable. It's a very nice trigger, is a Trigger Tech, and it is beautifully crisp in operation. Looking at the magazine system, this has actually got a floor plate which is compatible with AICS magazines. This is a supplied polymer one from MDT, and that's a 5-round unit in this one. You can also put an additional in the chamber, and actually somewhere on the video I think there's a clip where I do actually just drop an extra round in, and it will go straight in, you know, with just thrown into the ejection port, so you've got no trouble with that emergency backup shot. There are 3 stock colour options: Mountain, Desert and Urban Shadow. This is actually the Mountain Shadow option. I think I probably prefer this of the 3 of them, but it's entirely up to you as to which one you prefer. I think this is quite kind of subtle, not too garish, and it blends in quite nicely with just general hunting environments. The bottom metal is all aluminium. It's black anodized, matches the bolt shroud, etc. So you get a really good homogeneous look throughout the rifle of just all overall black with that stock finish. Now length of pull on the stock is actually a little bit disappointing. It's quite short. It's 13.1 inches, which is only 334mm, so it is quite short. And the grip is also, it's ambidextrous, it's a pistol grip, but it is quite small in the hand, and you sort of do find that, you know, that little finger's kind of hanging off the bottom. But that is a factor with a sort of a lightweight, more hunting oriented rifle rather than a target specialist rifle. And because this is screwed on with 2 screws, you can put spacers on there if you need to. And to be fair, I get used to shooting most rifles, and I don't find that was any detraction to the way this shot. But were I to choose the rifle for myself, I would add spacers. You can see the cheek piece has been kept quite high. We've got a little groove here which allows the bottom of the bolts to run into that. It's not so much visible on the short action, but on the long action it is very visible. Overall length is 1110 millimeters, which is 43.7 inches, and overall weight is 3 kilograms, which is 7.1 pounds. The rifle's available in 6mm Creedmoor, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC, 6.8 Western 308, 300 Win Mag, 300 PRC, 338 Win Mag, 7mm Rem Mag and 7mm PRC. So there is a good option of what calibre you can have it chosen in. The bolt's got a full-length M16 extractor claw on there within the 4 lugs, and that does mean it's going to have reliable performance. It's really going to lock onto the rim of the case, so you're going to get great extraction from the chamber. That's also coupled to excellent strong primary extraction, because you've got the slope here on the back of the action, which pairs with the slope at the base of the bolt handle, and that is what, when you lift the bolt handle, tears that case free from the chamber. Because don't forget, those brass cases, which are sort of elastic and sometimes plastically deforming within the chamber, do expand once it's fired, and they can cling really hard, and that is why primary extraction to tear it out of the chamber is most beneficial. So when that bolt handle comes up, you've got these levering surfaces here to draw it free. The stock has stud location at the front for a bipod, and there is also a quick detach stud just behind it for your sling. The one at the rear for the sling also matches that, so you can remove those quickly and easily if you want to change setups. I sometimes use a biathlon sling, especially on a light rifle I'm going to be carrying a long way, because it just allows it to sit flatter on my back with the bolt handle closed and away from my spine, and I can move anywhere I want freely without the fear of dropping it off my shoulder. This rifle is covered by Seekins' unbeatable lifetime warranty, so essentially if you break it or it fails you, then it will be warranted by them at any point in its life. Shooting the rifle on target, some of the groups were better than others, and in fairness I think most of the groups seemed to be like a 4 and a 1, and whether that was me or the wind or whether it was a blip in the ammo, I'm not sure, but the core groups there just maybe needed a little bit more working on, a little bit more ammo tweaking to test out what was really going to work. The 120 grain GMX non-toxic did certainly shoot very well, and I would totally trust those for any kind of hunting adventure, for the ranges of deer and other animals that I would find suitable for hunting with this kind of rifle. The lattice pattern on the side of the stock is grippy, and I'd like that. It's comfortable to shoot, and the slightly flat base makes the rifle equally comfortable to shoot from sticks in a standing position as well as when you're shooting prone, and that forend being stiff means you can load into the bipod and you've no fear of bending the stock or any kind of intermittent barrel contact affecting your zero position. One of the things you can't see on camera is that this rifle has a full synthetic bedding job. So not only does it have 2 aluminium pillars on the underside separating the bottom metal from the action bonded into the stock to make sure the recoil lug and the tang at the back are perfectly in the rifle without any stress implied at all. You can usually tell this because when you undo the front action screw, the barrel does not move at all. When you take the rear action screw out, it slides out smoothly because it's a perfect negative fit into that bedding surface. Bedding compounds are applied as a paste, so they mould perfectly to the action, and when they set hard, it's a bit like freezing water around a stick. It's a perfect fit, and I do think a good rifle can be made into a great rifle just by doing that. All my own rifles in stock similar to this have had hand bedding jobs done to them. I've done all those myself years ago, and it's definitely been worth it in the long run, because you can take rifles in and out the stocks without any fear of action stress changing and 0 points changing, and it means you've got less space for any kind of moisture to creep in or anything like that. And at the end of the day, there's just no movement between the stock and the action, and there's no stress implied to the action from the stock. I use the rifle with an HQS slim moderator. This is the perfect one of the HQS range for this rifle because it matches both the profile and the sort of weight threshold of the rifle, because it's a hunting rifle at the end of the day in my opinion. But I would like to keep hold of this one a bit longer because I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for UK conditions, because when you bulk up for the winter you're not going to notice that length of pull being a little bit short perhaps, and the barrel being long gives you good velocities, sort of light, very easy to handle, and of course with the moderator on it's going to be totally applicable to UK market, where we pretty much assume a moderator now is going to be 99% of the time used. The American market still treats the suppressor a little bit like we treat one of our firearm variations, and we have to put in a variation in the UK on our certificate, get that moderator with the rifle we'll get, but the moderators aren't that difficult to get now. 15 years ago they were quite tricky, but now it's not usually a problem at all. In the US they do have to make quite a lot of paperwork applications to get the suppressor, and they have to pay for it significantly more actually than we have to in the UK for the license to have that. Realistically here a one-for-one variation, or a new bought variation, is only sort of teens of pounds, whereas over there I think you're talking hundreds of dollars for that suppressor. So although they get the rifle easily, they don't get these as easily. So it's not all unfair to the UK shooter. We do have some perks and benefits over the rest of the world. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that review. Please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell and keep track of the regular uploads. Go through to the end of the video because you'll see the link for the 2024 British Shooting Show. Click on that link so you can go and buy your tickets for the NEC show, and it's a great one to attend because you'll see all the Seekins range there, and you might even bump into me. Whether that appeals or not to you, I don't know, but I will be there. Right, thank you for watching. Bye for now.